Hello, welcome back. So now you have all your research done. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to start thinking about your field guide. Okay, so I sent you these two pieces of paper. So you got this one and this one. Okay, they actually go back to back. So if you have a printer that can print double-sided, that would be the best way to go. Okay, what I did is I took two pieces of paper, see? And I took one and put it on the back of the other, like that. Made sure I could see on both sides, okay? Then once you can see, this is your front. See all the lines in the middle. This is your back. See, created by. That's where you're going to put your name. Your name goes on the back. Created by, your name goes there. Then once you have it together, you're going to fold. So see this line right here? So what I actually do is I actually fold it backwards first and then fold it back forward. And that's what I did on this side too. First I fold it backwards so I could follow that line. Okay? And then I fold it forward. All right. So I call this your template because this is not big enough to actually do your field guide. Just a second. Let me crease my field guide. Crease my field guide. Okay? So you're going to have pictures, you're going to have headings. Inside, you're going to have pictures. You're going to have your write-up of everything you learned about your animal. Pictures on the back. You're going to have your name. And you're going to have where you found your information. Your resources go here. All right? So it looks like a pamphlet, a brochure. Okay, now the reason I call this a template is because what I want you to do is just say, oh, I'm going to draw a picture here. I'm going to label it this. I'm going to put internet pictures here, or however you're going to do it. But you're just going to write a fun fact or a fun fact picture, whatever you're going to put on it. Same with the inside. This is too small, okay? If we were in class, I would give you the bigger paper, but we're not in class. I'm not sure what to do about this. It's kind of a big deal, okay? So you're going to do this. Let me show you some examples. You're just going to do your template, but then when you're all done with your template, let me move the hummingbird. Hang on. And the whale. When you're done with your template, then you're going to do the real thing. So this is one person's, see how the paper's much bigger? Look. Okay. That way it was so much easier for them to write their report and then just put it in the middle so that you guys didn't have to write everything by hand. That was my goal. So if you get a bigger piece of paper, you just fold it over, okay? Like you did this one, except you have to figure it out because it's just a big blank piece of paper. So this is done on the hummingbird, okay? So this is a computer-generated picture. So when I say computer-generated, that means off the computer you printed it, okay? You have to have one of those. And then she has her title, Hummingbird Eating Nectar. See? Hummingbird eating nectar. Okay. You do not have to do it this way. You could do something else there. I'll show you another example later. Here she has a hummingbird nest. See? Nest. So habitat. You have to have a picture of the habitat or where they live. Yes. And then here is the hummingbird in the nest. Okay. Then you open it up. And on this side, she has the stages of the hummingbird's life. Okay? She has pictures of hummingbirds. I had taped stuff in here, but now it's coming out again. And here she has a map of where all the hummingbirds live. Okay? Here she has her main report of the hummingbirds. And she has another picture. Now, she was supposed to draw a picture of her own hand, which I'm not seeing that, but she was supposed to. And here is this hummingbird, and that hummingbird, hummingbirds. Food. I couldn't read it backwards. I can read upside down, but backwards is more difficult. And there, okay. And then on the back, so let me see how I can cover up her name. So on the back, she decided to put animal, okay, and then her name is underneath. And then her resources of where she got the information is right here. All right, so that's one example, and as I said, there is supposed to be a hand-drawn picture. You have to have one hand-drawn at least, and one computer-generated. Everything else is up to you. All right, so this one is the barn owl. Okay, again, a little bit different. They put two pictures here. And then on this side, she drew. Okay? And what she did, so she didn't mess up her paper, was she actually drew it on a different piece of paper and cut it out. I don't know if you can tell that or not. And then glued it on here. Okay? That way, she was only using, because I gave each person like one of these because they're a little more pricey. And if you really had a problem, I gave you up to 2, but that was it. After 2, you were all done. Okay? What do barn owls like to eat? And she just did fun little words of what they like to eat. Pretty cool. All right. And there, a baby owl is called an owlet. Okay. And if you put it on here, it doesn't have to be in your written part. Okay. All right, so then we open up, and again, she decided to do all pictures here, which is fine. And she has one that she drew. And then some more pictures of the owls. And look, all those little baby owlets. Aren't they cute? Oh, adorable. Okay. And here she drew some more pictures and gave us information about the barn owl. Okay. And here she drew another picture as well. In the middle is her whole report, okay? Now, she did headings. We don't really want headings. We want it to be a nice full report like this other one was. See, I didn't have any that were like perfect, but okay. So see how this one doesn't have headings? It's just a report, right? Okay. They didn't indent. You should indent. They skip lines between paragraphs instead of indenting. Okay. All right, so these are our 2 examples. Let me cover the name again. All right, so this is the information, where they got the information. The name is up here underneath where I covered it. Okay. All right, so that is how you do this part of the project. All right, this is the field guide. So first you're going to spend several days getting your ideas here, and not a lot of days. I think it's 2. I was debating between 2 and 3, and I don't remember what I ended up putting. Okay, I'll just be honest. But it says, so pay attention to due dates. Okay, all right, and then you have time to do your final. And the finals where you're going to put all your drawings and everything. So I don't have any of their rough drafts because they took them all home and used them and nobody brought them back. But they would have written handwritten picture or picture from, and they would have said what it was. Handwritten picture of an owl. Picture from the internet of the owl. The nests of the hummingbird. Okay? Baby hummingbirds. They just wrote in the circles and the squares what they were going to put there, okay? And as you saw, one of them did basically all pictures in the front, And one of them did pictures, but also had information in the front. This is yours, guys. You get to decide where what goes. All right? And then on the back, you have to have your name. It needs to say created by, your resources. Inside, you need to have your writing, your written report. And then, like you saw, inside, you would just write, here you would write, written report. Don't write it. Just, this is your rough draft. So all you're doing is saying, oh, I'm going to have a picture here, and then I'm going to have a drawing here, and then I'm going to have information here, or however you're going to do it. And you don't have to do circles, and you don't have to do boxes. You can just have 2 boxes, however you want to do it, but you have to write down what you're doing. Then on the inside, you can do the same thing. I'm going to draw a picture of the habitat, or I'm going to have a picture of a swamp because that's where they are. Okay? And then here you're going to say, I'm going to write my information. Okay? Does that make sense? So I probably gave you too much time, actually. But what you're doing is you're trying to get the information that you need. All right? So you should be typing up your report or writing out your report, but don't write it here. Just put report goes here. Does that make sense? Because I gave you a lot of time to do this. Because I expected you to have your whole ideas done. So if you say, hey, I'm going to draw a picture, you can do like this person and draw that picture and then cut it out to paste it on later. Okay? If you're going to say, oh, I'm going to get a picture, then get the picture. It's just this, you don't have to write it. You don't have to actually glue the picture here. Just say picture, but you should have the picture. You should have already gotten it. Because once you do this you don't have a lot of time. This is only like a day or 2. Because you should do most of the work here. So if you say, oh, hey, I want to have 6 pictures off the computer, then you need to have those 6 pictures that you pick off the computer. Okay? I hope I'm making sense. All right. So that is what you're doing. You are doing this today. Okay? And it will go to this, but we're not doing this yet. This is step 3. You're on step 2. Okay? The research was step 1. Okay? This is step 2. This is step 3. And I will show you step 4 later.